More children and adults are being diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. You've heard it as ADHD. More now than ever before. It's a controversial issue because some health professionals say it's overdiagnosed, while others say it's a condition that's actually often missed. Well, now along comes Maroon 5 lead singer Adam Levine disclosing he has long had ADHD in this new public service announcement. Take a look.
Like many kids with ADHD, I didn't outgrow it. I remember very distinctly not being able to focus. So that was right around the time when I actually saw a doctor.
If you were diagnosed with ADHD as a kid, you might still have it. Take a quiz at ownYourADHD.com to recognize your symptoms. Then talk with your doctor.
Looking into it is really important. It's your ADHD. Own it.
It's your ADHD. Okay, what did you think? Well, one psychologist sitting right next to me doesn't like what he sees. Dr. Jeff Ball is the founder and executive director of PCH treatment centers. He joins us now. So, Dr. Ball, I see the same thing I've seen on TV for a long time. All these drug ads, okay? But this didn't pitch any drugs. So what's your problem with it?
Well, it is sponsored by a drug company and that produces Adderall. And these are very powerful stimulants. They're abused, they're addictive. And we have a society where people are really overprescribed and overdiagnosed. ADHD in particular should be a rule-out diagnosis, that depression, anxiety also account for those symptoms. And
bipolar sometimes?
Bipolar can.
Can, yeah.
And, you know, ADHD, the first drug, the first-line treatment by most physicians is Adderall or Ritalin. And both are abused drugs. I think the Seattle Seahawks at one point were referred to as the Seattle Seahawks because I think 6 of them were suspended for Adderall.
Well, now, when I look at Adam Levine, you know, who, I mean, come on, he's the sexiest man alive, right? He was on the cover of People magazine, and he's a coach on The Voice. And I understand, if I'm a drug company, wanting him to pitch my product.
Right.
But he didn't really pitch it. What he's trying to do, it seems to me, is say, hey, if you're feeling a little ostracized here, or you can't concentrate, or you're not getting good grades, I was like you. Own your ADHD. Do you like that statement? Own it.
If the person has ADHD, you know, I have a treatment center where, PCH treatment center, where many of our young people come in with an ADHD diagnosis. I would say when we do neuropsychological testing, which is the one real way to determine if someone has ADHD, probably 80 or 90% actually don't have it.
Okay.
So you're prescribing a drug to someone who doesn't have that disorder. It is a drug that makes everyone's attention sharper for the most part.
It's a stimulant,
but it's also,
of course.
It's a stimulant, but it also makes you paranoid in the long run. It has all kinds of negative side effects.
All right, now why you have a different, and you're not here, of course, just to have your own commercial on for your treatment center, but you have a different type of treatment.
Right.
You believe in a holistic method of treatment.
Right.
Why should I believe that your method is better than the prescription that's written?
Well, all these prescription drugs also have a lot of side effects, and you know, we've had people come into our treatment center on 10, 15 medications.
Wow.
Our psychiatrist, which to us determines the doctor doesn't really know what's going on, and they're just throwing more medications at them. Our psychiatrist, if someone's depressed, the first line treatment is aerobic exercise because it works, it's more effective than antidepressants are. And it's not that we don't use some of these drugs, we use them very sparingly. We believe in a lot of good treatment, good therapy, group therapy, neurofeedback, exercise, good eating. And these things are usually a much more effective type of treatment for all these different psychological problems.
I spoke to a couple of psychologists in preparation for this, and one brought up that the neurofeedback, though, does have its detractors as well.
Well, it may, but it's the things that it really seems to be effective with, and there are some double-blind studies at UCLA that show it's very good with attentional issues. It works well with insomnia, with anxiety. And there aren't really negative side effects. So the worst thing that happens is it just doesn't work.
And that's really your concern here.
My concern
is not wanting people to be overprescribed, because without a doubt, I don't think most physicians would argue with you that these stimulants are being overprescribed.
They are, but at the same time, someone can call their doctor, and there's a good chance they can get one, and that's a problem these days.
Let me ask you this: what if a parent or an individual says, "Look, I think my child may have ADHD. Maybe I do, but I've heard these tests to find out if I have it can be in the thousands of dollars. I can't afford them. So what do I do?"
Well, I think you can still have a good evaluation, even without all the testing, to determine if it's possible that it's ADHD. And there are places where you can get testing for, that's less expensive.
You can.
For that.
And can you get treatment? Because once again, getting a medication that maybe has now gone to generic is only going to cost me maybe $10 a month, right? Getting ongoing treatment from a center like yours or from a psychologist, that's going to be in the hundreds, if not more than hundreds a month.
Right.
So what does the person do?
Well, again, I think there are low-cost treatment options in Los Angeles and around the country, and I think those are a better option than taking a medication that you're going to become addicted to. There are more people addicted to prescription medications than street drugs in this country.
I got to let you go, but final question.
Sure.
Have you ever thought of giving Adam Levine a call and saying, hey, why don't you come over to our center and see what we do?
It's a good idea. I don't know if he'll take my call, but we can give it a try.
I don't know if you'd pay him as much as the drug company did, but you might as well try.
Probably not.
Dr. Jeff Ball, thanks very much for being here. All right.